Ataszek Video Manual. Welcome. Today we're talking about UV lamps, ultraviolet, full-scale value. Manuals, guidance, advice, tips, welding, bonding, gluing and dosing. Video manual. UVA full-scale value is mainly for UV glue hardening, as well as some varnishes and various paints. What is more important, apart from the structure itself, or the power it consumes, is the quality of light that is really emitted. That real value is emitted from the lamp tube light or another type of bulb. This is the most important. The fact that the bulb consumes 40 watts, it doesn't really say how real value of light, the power of UVA it emits. Here we have lamps with over 250 watts in a square centimeter, which means that they are very powerful ones. In the standard torches, like the ones here, that you can buy anywhere, they are 3 watts torch and their complete power is 300 milliwatts. In the 5 watts torch, it is 700 milliwatts of the hardening power. Similar torches available on the market hardly emit the half of that, whereas 2 or 3 watt torch will scarcely produce 20-25 watts of the power itself. And here we have 300 milliwatts out of the 3 watts torch here. That UVA light, of course. Now we shall talk about each lamp and what kind of surface they will harden. Always remember about the protective gloves, especially with glues or other chemicals. Put on your protective glasses as well. Bear in mind that the glasses should comply with N169 and 172 norms. And the shading depends on the light exposure. Here, with the lights of a lesser power, like this, or should you enlight a spot and no direct exposure, then you may use a casual sunglasses UV 400. Should you use higher power lamps, well, you'll probably be exposed directly. Then you should wear this type of glasses, where you fully protect as they block 100% of UVA light. We'll start with the Atk Uv 3W torch. As you can see, the light is focused. Here we got 1.82 centimeters. When it's on, pay attention to that focus spot of light. The edging will not work and it doesn't not affect hardening much. The light diameter is 2 to 5 from this height. It is spot hardening or pre-hardening, where you may prepare it, or hardening by moving the torch across. It is powered by the 18650 standard battery. As I said before, we're going to harden the burr glue. So you could see that the burr glue hardens, and not like the other torches where you may harden the glue in between. Look, I have exposed the glues for 3 or 5 seconds. The glue still is warm. The reaction is fast. Glue is hardened.
Utwardzony klej. No i oczywiście tu przy Atk Uv 10 i 16
With that Atk Uv 1016, the burr is not sticky like other glues. Atk Uv LED W5, the diameter is much wider, as you can see, around 3.8 centimeter. When it's on, it is still in the limit of 4 centimeters. Remember that the lesser the distance, the better, as the light is more focused. However, it is not as focused as that 3W torch. The radiant is larger. Here we have hardened with 3W torch, 5W now. As before, I set the torch diagonally. I hope you can see the reaction speed. The power is so strong that you may even observe some fuse coming out of it. Only after a while, if I wish to light a bit more, like that, directly over the glue to harden. Look. Atk UVA 10W lamp now. As you can see, the diode is in the center. In halogen casing, here we have 250 volts power supply plug. The real size of light is 7.5 centimeters to around 4.5 centimeters. I will connect it now for you to see the real power. As you can see, the light angle is wide. You can't say that it is focused anywhere. Depending on the height, I may harden from 15 to 20 centimeters. However, bear in mind that the light is mostly focused up to 15 centimeters. That is 10 by 10 square. You may install onto some grip anywhere, where it will hover directly over the surface, and we may change the materials. Some more glue. I expose it diagonally a bit, so the fumes did not affect the glass. And then I will finish by placing it vertically. As you can see, it is hardened. The surface isn't sticky. That is, the glue is ready. Besides having the socket power supply, 230 volts, and the power is stronger than 3 or 5 watt torch, the hardening itself may take 20 to 30% longer, due to the fact that the light is scattered more than in the torches. The angle is wider, so the real exposure might be a bit longer. The exposure takes to 10 to 15 seconds longer instead. But it doesn't matter comparing to the regular bulbs or other lamps, where it will take not 10 to 15 seconds, but few minutes. Yet another one, Atk UVA 15W. It's a kind of fluorescent light, but there are LED bulbs inside. 90 centimeters in length, the width will be measured in a moment. It's mostly used in a long project used by advertising companies, for example, lots of hardening use, such as advertising spaces and glass technicians or other similar companies. May be used to build aquariums, stairs, etc. In the set there is electric supply cord 230 volts. Additionally, we have a switch here. I will lay the ruler here so you could see the length of the process part. Note that the closest is 2 to 3 centimeters. At the height of 10 centimeters, the length will take 5 to 7 centimeters. So it is quite wide, unless you will move closer. Then you may glue glass boxes and other products. Then it is 1,5 to 2 centimeters. Another sample, the same glue as before. I will expose it at a slight angle, so the fumes didn't damage the fluorescent lamp. Direct hardening now. A few more seconds. Turn off. The glue is still warm, very hot, which means it has been hardened. You may have seen the light smoke there, I hope. So the reaction was fast. Atk Uv 40W now. This is mainly used for constant and professional use. We have radiators here. It is very powerful, so the temperature is high, as well as the adjustable installing piece from -180 to +180 degrees, so you could install it above and adjust. Here we have lock bolts. We could use a screw for a place in a vertical position. Anything for your convenience. The lamp measures 26 centimeters of the inner size and 6 centimeters in height. The lamp has been on already. As you can see, we have there that 26 centimeters angled like that. When I raise, the field effectiveness will widen up to 30 centimeters. The power of the lamp is so great that I could increase the distance and cover over 30 centimeters of that area. So I could harden it with a problem. Let's apply some more glue here. Expose at the light angle. As you can see, there has been some smoke momentarily. So we can tell that the reaction is on. The smoke appeared at the moment I exposed the glue for the beam, faster than torches did. The glue has been hardened. It is very hot. It is hardened well, as the surface is completely dry. And the last lamp, Atk UVA 100W. As you can tell, the lamp consists of 4 Atk UVA 40W lamps. There are radiators placed from behind.
zasilacz
the
cały
power supply
i kabel.
and the cord.
No i teraz zmierzymy sobie tą
Let's measure the width.
szerokość. Realnie
Real width is 26 centimeters, as just like before.
no i teraz tak, długość będziemy mierzyć
The height will be measured from the inner part
od wewnętrznej strony do
to
wewnętrznej, czyli
the inner of the lamps that gives you 35 centimeters long. Due to the gaps
tego
between
ta lampa
and the power of the lamp,
podaje, nie zawiesza się na
you shouldn't place a centimeters above the surface, as it may fail to expose it completely. The minimum height here is 10 centimeters.
i wtedy jest to
They will have a complete exposure area.
położę
I will place the ruler here.
lampa.
The lamp
już jest
has
włączona.
already been on.
Widzicie, tutaj są także te mocowania
Here we have an install piece for you to place wherever you like.
powierzchni pionowej. No i realnie to, co mówię,
As I said, 5 centimeters is enough for it to work properly.
oczywiście nie ma. Normalnie jest
There are no gaps
zawieszone
between. It usually hangs about
minimum
10 to 15 centimeters above the area. The power for a square centimeter is extremely strong, so make sure
zrobić
it
dodatkowe
is well ventilated so you could get rid of any possible fumes,
po prostu nie
and so it didn't damage the lamp itself.
lampę. No i pokażemy
And some more glue, the same as before.
porcji kleju, jak utwardza. Tak jak
As you can
widzicie,
see, the glue is dry and hardened,
nie jest lepiej.
isn't sticky.
Oświecenie było
The exposure
w
took 3 seconds.
no tutaj na
Over
takiej
such a
małej
small
powierzchni
area,
mamy
it usually be more.
na o wiele większej. Pamiętajcie o tym, że jeżeli
Note
miało
if
być
to be hanged
zawieszone
above the table,
czyli tak bezpośrednio
the glue is to be hardened
i
there.
miałaby być wypływka, to
There is a
pamiętajcie,
burr.
dodatkowo dołożyć
Then make sure you install some ventilation
na
to remove the fumes.
które są przy danym kleju. Wszystkie lampy, które
All the lamps presented today were thoroughly tested by us.
które mają górny zakres
They have
UV,
UVA full scale value
w
and
większości przypadków w klejach.
they are used for Atk glues. We have tested them.
Przetestowane w
They should also be compatible with other brands of glues.
powinny działać, chociaż zawsze trzeba sprawdzić,
However,
na jakim
before use, make sure to check the hardening specs.
na przykład UV dolna granica,
It depends on the scale of UVA wave, be it low, middle or high. Should you produce your own glues, send us some samples for tests.
podpiszcie próbki, my wykonamy testy.
Bear in
Pamiętajcie o tym,
mind
że
that the
nie
power
zawsze
given
moc,
is not
słuchajcie,
always
nie zawsze ta moc, która jest pobierana, to jest jedno, a tak naprawdę liczy się
the factual power, but the power needed for the glue hardening.
które potrzebne jest do utwardzania danego kleju. Jeżeli mamy elementy
Here we have
gotowe,
spot lamps
wszelkiego
for
rodzaju
pre-gluing,
uszkodzenia czy naprawy szyb,
or for the car glasses repair,
no to
you may
wtedy
use 3 or 5 watt torches.
automatową. Jeżeli mamy
For smaller elements,
takie
up to a few centimeters,
stacjonarnie coś
or
przy stole
work
robimy,
stationary,
zamiast latarki,
use the lamp instead.
taką w formie takiego reflektora, którą możemy
The fluorescent lamp
świetlówkę
is used in
używamy
straight
w
line
prostych
work.
odcinkach, gdzie, tak
You may
jak
use it for gluing the boxes,
firmy reklamowe,
used for
różnego rodzaju
advertising,
robotach, szklarze,
or
także
glass technicians in gluing glass or aquariums.
rodzaju gablotki. No i ostatnią serią,
The last line
znaczy te dwie
is
lampy,
for
to są
industrial
takie lampy
use mostly,
mocno gdzie
where you
naprawdę
like to
chcemy
harden
bardzo
large
szybko
areas
wpadać na
fast,
powierzchni, czy to, tej takiej 35
be it 36 to 6 centimeters or 35 to 35 centimeters.
centymetrów, gdzie utwardzanie
It
ma
is
być
used for fast hardening,
nawet
even
przy
with the
grubych
thick
elementach,
elements,
czy takich, które
or
słabiej
for less
przepuszczają
transparent
światło, to
elements.
także należy wziąć pod uwagę, czyli nie sugerujcie się tą mocą
Anyway,
lampy,
it is not to read the power as the one consumed, but the one that is emitted from the lamp.
światła, no i zawsze trzeba przeprowadzić
Note always
testy
perform
materiale
tests as the material may vary. From light transparency like glass or plexiglass, it is about 90 to 100% transparency, but you may come across materials that, such as polycarbonate, PVC or PET, or the dimmed or covered glass where the light doesn't come through. Then with the lamps we offer, you may expose the materials for over 20 seconds instead. Or use more powerful lamps as it may, say, break through the material and will harden it eventually. In the end, I would like to remind you that all the lamps presented were LED ones, so the consumed power is effective to the one emitted. They aren't standard lamps that will produce 1/10 or 1/100th of the power that is consumed, and that they are not quartz old-school lamps, where they consumed around 100 to 150 watts, and you had to expose the surface for a few minutes to harden the glue, and eventually it all was sticky whatsoever. It is all for today. Should you have any questions, use the comments below or write us to an email and we will answer to all of them. Here are the films about Atk glues.